Yo, so today we're going to be stepping a little bit outside of the comfort zone. We're going to be playing some Temur Rhinos, and rather than playing a hyper interactive deck that plays a couple of flyers in hopes to get to the finish line, here we're going to be playing one of Modern's dedicated combo decks, partially because this deck plays red and plays blue and wants no part of expressive iteration. So that'll be pretty exciting to play this deck. The idea is really simple. You don't play cards that cost less than 3 unless they are named Crashing Footfalls. The reason for that is because you're looking to use the cascade mechanic with cards like Shardless Agent and Violent Outburst, and you're trying to cascade into Crashing Footfalls every single time you cast something with cascade. But that doesn't mean you don't have interaction or you don't play Magic until turn 3. You have a lot of stuff that costs less than that, but the written CMC of all of the cards is still greater than 2. You have 4 copies of Brazen Borrower, and Petty Theft does a lot of work in this deck. You have 2 copies of Bone Crusher Giant, and your primary mode here is going to be Stomp to kill off opposing creatures, or Planeswalkers that like to tick down. Teferi. Speaking of which, 4 copies of Force Negation will help to make sure that your opposing Teferi Time Raveler stays the hell off the table. And the reason for that Teferi is so important because of static ability. Whenever Teferi is on the table, Crashing Footfalls does not have the ability to resolve, period. So Teferi cannot be allowed to hit the table no matter what. We've got 3 copies of Endurance, and you can pitch it against graveyard decks, or it's a pretty reasonable 3/4 threat on its own. Here we've got 3 copies of Dead Gone to deal 2 damage to creatures, or if you just need to bounce like a Murktide Region or something, whatever, cool, pay 3, bounce it. Fire Ice, just as good. 2 damage to creatures, very exciting stuff, especially if your opponent looks at you with 2 creatures with 1 toughness each. That's a chef's kiss. Or if you just want to tap down your opponent's lands and make their lives a little miserable, cast Ice, it's great. And then of course 4 copies of Fury, because why would you play a red deck in Modern right now without Fury? This card is absolutely busto, and you can just get rid of all kinds of stuff. Again, Teferi. Teferi. Opponents cannot resolve Teferi. That is very important, and I'm sure that's going to come up at least once in these matches. We've got 4 copies of Mystical Dispute, and I'm sure y'all can take a wild guess at what this is targeting. There's 2 copies of Subtlety, and this hits a lot of cards. It hits Primeval Titan, hits basically everything out of Tron, and, well, you guessed it. The next cards here are going to be Magus of the Moon and Blood Moon, and we're going to play 2 copies of each. And obviously whichever one you want more in a given matchup depends on what you're playing against. Against decks like Amulet Titan, you're of course going to side in all 4, but the reason for the split is because you can have Magus of the Moon that's not weak to cards like Boseiju Who Endures, or Blood Moon that's not weak to things like Lightning Bolt. So there's a reason for the 2-2 split, and I'll be pretty happy to have all 4 of these moon effects. The 4th copy of Endurance lives here, and there's 4 copies of Force of Vigor, which is just a really solid all-around card. It gets rid of a lot of artifacts and enchantments that give you problems, the biggest ones of course being Damping Sphere, Void Mirror, and Chalice of the Void. Huge deal, Chalice sucks. A Chalice on 0 will just sit there and counter your Crashing Footfalls so that you're stuck playing a fair game of Magic, and that's not why we're here. We don't want to play fair games of Magic. We want to pay 3 mana and come out with 8 powers worth of trampling. That's kind of the entire goal here. So that's what we want to do. We want to make our opponent's lives really miserable. We want to trample over them, make them very sad, counter their Teferis, and cross the finish line. That's our goal. Let's accomplish it. I'll see y'all in round 1. Okay, round 1, we're on the draw, but hand is fine. I've got an Endurance, a Shardless Agent, interaction on turn 2. Pretty happy overall. So let's see what it is we're playing against. Swamp. Thoughtseize. So here I assume they're just going to take my Shardless Agent, but we'll actually see. They do in fact take the Shardless Agent, and we get to untap. Let's see what's what. Basic Island. Not gonna lie, don't really want that. Okay, we've got a Bloodstained Mire. Let's see what comes here. Another basic Swamp. Profane Tutor. Holy shit. We're playing against a mono black Cabal Coffers deck and another land. Okay, so here I'm just gonna go ahead, ice their land, try to draw really anything relevant. So I want a basic forest is good enough, I think. So I'm gonna ice a swamp, and hopefully this will draw me into some cascade spell. Whoa, 2 mana now. What's happening here? And I draw a Brazen Bower. Okay, so I would still super love to be able to just draw into a Cascade spell. A Force Negation is not terrible though. I'm just gonna play my basic island and keep it moving. This way I can cast Brazen Bower, Endurance, or Force Negation, whichever I need. Here I think I'm going to do I let this resolve? Because I'm pretty sure it just gets an Urborg, right? I think I just let this resolve actually, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna get an Urborg. And stopping this, I don't know actually does much of anything anyway, because like they already play 4 Urborg, so it's kind of whatever. So here they can tap this for 4, 5, 6 mana total. Is that what I'm seeing here? Another Profane Tutor. Okay, that's fine. So here I'm just gonna go ahead and cast an Endurance because the graveyard honestly doesn't really matter here. I'm gonna put this for myself just because I do want more Cascade cards in my deck in case. Another Endurance. Okay, so let's do this. Beat down. So they're at 14 and I still have lots of interaction here. So let's see what I have access to. Another Cabal Coffer. So they have like 605 mana. 8 mana, a total of 9 then. What are we doing with 9 mana? Invoke Despair. Sack a creature, do the thing, do the thing. I think I'm going to start by just regular casting. 4 mana cannot cast another one of these. It can cast a Planeswalker of some sort, but I can also attack that with a Karn, so let's see if that's good enough here. Damnation, you got it. Not the end of the world. Steam Vents, tapped, untap, and a Fury. That's got next to no text in this matchup. So not much I can do about the third Profane Tutor here, but I am glad we didn't have to let Invoke Despair resolve. So 6, a lot, 9 again, okay. A Karn, Great Creator, okay. That sucks, of course. I can finish it off with Fury though, so like, it's actually not even that bad depending on what they get. Because I can Petty Theft something, Endurance, and then untap Fury. So there's still a lot to do. Batterskull. That's actually fine. So here I'm going to Petty Theft the Germ token, since they can just cast the Batterskull anyway, so I might as well make them use the most mana while doing all of that. And, tap for black. This time I'm going to I'm still going to put my stuff in. I guess I could have targeted nobody there, but whatever. Oh, I have a Shardless Agent. Okay, does that change anything? I think the answer might be yes. So here I'm going to just attack down the Karn like this then, and now I finally get to cast some Rhinos. So if they have like a Damnation or something, then, you know, sucks to be me. But if they don't, then I'm pretty happy from here. I kind of wish I had another Force instead of this Fury, but, you know, not every draw can be perfect. So we're making 9 mana again. That's approximately 1 shit ton. So are we just bouncing Batterskull and replaying it? It's a Karn. Okay, so Karn with 5 mana. See what Karn with 5 mana does. Ensnaring Bridge. That's fine. Can play that. You'll have 3 cards in hand, so most of my stuff can still attack. I'm of course not the biggest. Oh no, they're just gonna get to play another card. Ooh, Fatal Push on my Rhino. Yeah, that sucks. Okay, annoying. You got me. So here, I guess I'm just gonna untap rather than playing this Brazen Bower, because it can't attack in the face of a anyway. It can't attack in the face of the Ensnaring Bridge anyway. So I'm gonna let Fury take care of the Karn and get my attack in for 2 with the Shardless Agent while I can. I am looking for another copy of Brazen Bower so I can Petty Theft the Ensnaring Bridge. That's going to be my big out for a good attack here. And Fatal Push my Endurance, that already can attack, but now my Shardless Agent can't either, so good job, opponent. So I don't mind just pressing the 6 button here, ignoring the rest of the turn, and seeing if I can't kind of get away with one here. What was that? Cling to Dust. Okay. 5 mana is what? Don't be another Invoke Despair. That's probably exactly what it is, though. A Bob. Wow. I haven't seen you in a while, Bob. 6 mana. What are we doing with 6 mana? Just bouncing Batterskull, maybe? Another Cling. Oh, we're just escaping Cling to Dust. Sure. And then Expedition map. Okay. All right, so we are empty-handed, which is a little annoying from here, obviously. I wish you had Trinisphere tech so I could tap you. That'd be cool as shit. Okay, so let's play my Wooded Foothills. I don't mind doing the Wooded Foothills for just a little bit of Urborg. So I don't mind the Wooded Foothills for a little bit of deck thinning, I guess. But let's see what this is. 5 mana. Uh-oh. Lots of mana. Okay, so we're just going to get another land, which means Cabal Coffers. So now they have approximately 6 million mana. Well, basically 6 million. What is this? A Walking Ballista? What the hell are you casting? Wolf. I guess I'm looking for a counter spell of some sort. So I don't know. Here's this, I guess. Blue, green. Oh crap. I didn't fetch. All right. We're dead. But damn it. Okay, fine. So here I want Force of Vigors. I want the Moon effects. I don't think I care enough about Subtlety here. Cards that I don't really care about. Bone Crusher Giant, even though we saw a Bob, I think that's a little medium as far as plans go. Endurances I don't really need here. And then I've got some Dead Guns that are medium useless. So that's actually a pretty even split too, which is nice. So let's make this our sideboarding. Here we go, a relatively robust sideboard plan of 8 cards. So let's take out all of these creature removal spells and put in all of these things, knowing that we still have Fury and Brazen Bowers in case we see any copies of Bob or anything. So this is actually pretty good. I've got lots and lots of protection against spells. I've got a turn 3 this thing whatever that card's called. I've got a turn 3 Violent Outburst. I swear I know card titles. Expedition Map, you got it. So let's go ahead and grab our Triome, and this one's gonna be able to grab us a basic island, and then under upkeep I'll be able to go ahead and tap the forest, or this thing, tap the swamp. So let's do that, and this will cut them off of being able to use their Expedition Map this turn too, which is really nice. So they can still Thoughtseize me, but like, who cares? I've got 3 Violent Outbursts, and that is quite possibly the worst land in the entire deck. Nah, nice. Good job, deck. Draw me almost any other land, please. Block. Alright, that's what I get for trying to play basic lands and play into the 4 moon effects I have, I guess. Jesus Christ, Andre. At least I can force a negation something. I can also force a vigor, which is, I guess, nice, but man, won't lie and say I'm happy about that one. Profane Tutor, you got it. Oh my god, I am big mad about that. They turned this into a swamp and I still can't even Violent Outburst with it. Untap. That's better. So let's do that. And now I can get a basic forest and use the basic forest for the Violent Outburst. I'm still mad though. So let's see. If they cast a Karn or something, a Thoughts, have fun. I've got 3 of the same card. So you can take my Force of Vigor with this Thoughtseize, and that doesn't make me happy. They can also take my Force of Negation and then I guess resolve something big if their land drop is going to be a copy of Cabal Coffers. But by something big, I guess I just mean like Karn the Great Creator. But even still, if I just get to like resolve one of these Violent Outbursts, then I'm still pretty happy with the way this is shaping up. Even if I don't draw another land after this, I can still just like pitch a second Violent Outburst to a Fury and then still have a third for more Rhinos if need be, past like a Damnation or something. So if they have Damnation, they probably take this. If they don't, they probably take this. We'll see. Okay, so it looks like we're probably facing down a Damnation next turn is what I'm being told here. Another Expedition Map, I will do 0 things about that. So let's Foothills for the basic forest and then start making Rhinos. Big giant 4/4s. Let's go. 5/4s. Haha, let's go. Untap. Okay, another Force of Vigor is actually not bad. I wouldn't go so far as to say I think it's great, but it's not bad. I will do nothing about that. And another cool part about this, right, is if their turn is just going to be comprised of playing a card like a Damnation or something, and I can't do anything about this, so that's kind of whatever. So they get a Cabal Coffers, right? They make a bunch of mana, so what's that? 5, 6, 7? Yeah, they can make 7 mana. And they cast like an Invoke Despair or something. I can still Violent Outburst, make Rhinos, untap, Violent Outburst just as a pump spell, and that's exactly 10. Inquisition can take one of my Violent Outbursts, you got it. So now that was a check for, I assume, a copy of, okay, so there is an Invoke Despair. So how does this work? Sack a creature, if you can't, lose 2 life, draw a card, repeat for an enchantment in a planeswalker. So I sack 1 creature and then I have to discard 1 card. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That doesn't do anything. I had to stop and read that. I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't actually like stop the problem I'm presenting. A Fatal Push does. So if they also have a Fatal Push on top of this, then yes, they can solve 2 of my 3 Rhinos. I have to draw something here. Maybe not that, but something else might have worked. Yeah, okay. I'm like, there's no way that's not a Fatal Push, right? They're going to 2 here. Yeah, so I can still just like cast a Brazen Borrower and a turn on tap attack. So if this is going to be like a Damnation or something, then I'm not super happy about it, but it's going to happen, right? Fatal Push, that's fine. Now what? Liliana of the Veil. Yeah, you got it. There are 0 things I am doing about Liliana. So I'm going to sacrifice a creature. Good night, sweet prince. And now let's see what you got. On the list of things that you can do, Thoughtseize is not on that. So let's see if you can solve a basic Brazen Borrower. Yeah, looks like they can't. Sick. So here, I don't think I want to change anything in my sideboard plan. I think I like what was happening there. Do I want to pause and put in Endurances instead of Fury? Or even Mystical Display? No, we've seen enough Planeswalkers to really want these Furies, I think. Yeah, I think we've seen enough Planeswalkers to really want these Furies. Cat over here. And my hand is acceptable? Is probably the right word for this. Not good, but I think it's acceptable. All right, well, go ahead, opponent. So I can use this to look for a island and still be able to do most of the things that I would want to do with a hand. So let's play our Triome and pass. And to be fair, this hand is medium excited. Dalthy Voidwalker. All right, that's fine. I can bounce that with a Brazen Borrower, so that's not even bad. Oh, there's a Shardless Agent. Nice. All right. So that's gonna happen. And what did I want? I want an island. I have 2 copies of Petty Theft in my hand right now. So I guess I'll just use one. Or do I want to do this? No, Andre, stop. All right, go away, Dalthy Voidwalker. And if they play the Voidwalker again, Liliana to discard. Sure. that's gonna resolve. So I guess you can have my Force of Vigor then. So what do I want to do here more? Do I want to... Oh, never mind. That answers all of the questions. So I can just go ahead, resolve Rhinos, and they can tick down. Tick down will take my Shardless Agent, and I'm okay with that. And I have Force Pitching Brazenbower to counter a copy of Damnation. And then I can untap Magus of the Moon, kill Liliana, and work on their phase 2. Okay. I like that plan so far. If they have like a fatal push or something for one of my Rhinos, that's a little more complicated, but like I don't think it's complicated enough to be miserable. Doughty Voidwalker, that you can have. Discards a card. Okay, that's fine. You are allowed to discard my Force of Vigor that I'm already, to be honest, not really using. Map, sick. So the map is going to get a Cabal Coffers, and that actually works out really well for me because it is Magus. So let's untap. Stomping Ground doesn't do anything for me here. So I want to attack Lily, attack face. And this can't block because it's got Shadow, so that's kind of whatever. So Lily's gonna die. Perfect. I do want to play this then. Yeah, let's play that. Now I've got a Magus, and good luck. So a cool interaction that everybody might not know here. The way that Magus versus Urborg works is if whichever one is played last is the one that wins. And I played my Magus after they played Urborg. So unless they have another copy of Urborg already in hand, then I am currently busy being very excited about how this works. And since they had Voidwalker and my thing is a Magus and not a Blood Moon, they can't even pop Force of Vigor, so hell yeah. So I'm just gonna take this 3 and go to 14. And if they want to, I don't know, play something with their 1 swamp, then they're allowed. I'm hoping they don't have another copy of Urborg, but even that wouldn't actually let Cabal Coffers go off, because Cabal Coffers and Castle Lochthwain are still locked. Haha, pun unintended. All right, take 12. Stop looking at my Rhinos and take 12. That's better. So now they're at 4, and Magus of the Moon is putting in some super solid work here. So I've got Force pitching Brazenbower. The other Brazenbower can pitch something, so if they, I don't know, have a copy of card titles are difficult, Ensnaring Bridge, then I'm still allowed to either counter or bounce as I choose. So that's exciting. Thank you, Basic Island, for putting in the Lord's work. This 4, 5, 6 mana. 6 mana. What are you casting? Okay, sick. So 1-0 over Mono Black Coffers. Let's move on to round 2. Ooh, round 2, and we're on the play. That's exciting. Our hand is not terrible. I'll be pretty happy to keep this. Wow, my computer's breathing a little hard here. What's happening? Well, I will stress about that later. We have a Forest and a Hardened Scales. Hi, haven't seen you in a while. All right, well, let's grab our Triumph, untap, and I can now choose between Bonecrusher Giant, Dead, or icing this land, and I think icing the land might actually be the play against Hardened Scales, because all of their good stuff actually costs 2. So let's do that. Put them off by a turn, untap, Shardless Agent, and then, oh, that's strong. Not for this turn, because I actually do want to, you know, use this for the Force of Negation, but like, yeah, this is fine. So here I'm just gonna go ahead and jam some Rhinoceri. Alright, nice Hardened Scales, have 10 power. And the cool part about this too is if one of their creatures starts to just get like really out of hand here, I can just cast Gone instead of the dead half of this, and I'm still pretty happy about that. So let's work on that. Another Crashing Footfalls, don't necessarily want that, but let's start. So we're gonna get an attack on, boop, 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 and you can become a 3/3 construct. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Oh, it's only a 2/2. Duh, they didn't have the mana for this. I was counting that. All right, well, attack is in. Yep. So that's gonna happen, and I'm gonna get to cast Dead here in response to that. So sorry, opponent. And I'm not gonna suspend Crashing Footfalls because I've got double removal or Force of Negation up, so we're just not gonna press any buttons here. So they make a construct. It is a 1/1. They get to go get a thing. I wonder what they can get. Welding Jar, maybe? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're good. Okay. Another Saga. You have Modular. Okay. Which means that I want to kill the token first. Oh, that's going to play pretty nicely. So I'm going to let that resolve and then kill their land 2. So now this thing's going to shrink back down to being a 2/2, and Zabas is going to be by itself. Sick. There's no point to casting this as a pump spell, so let's just get an attack in. Doop, doop. So you take that, you go to 4. I'm not going to cast Bonecrusher Giant because I can choose between Force of Negation and Violent Outburst, and I could have suspended this, but I don't really know that I need to do all that here. I probably should have, to be fair. Ancient Stirrings. Noted. I will do nothing about that. Welding Jar. Okay, so we were right about them playing Welding Jar earlier. So it's not going to be terribly relevant in this game, but that is good to know. Violent Outburst still beats that, so you can choose Construct, and I don't really care. I assume this is choosing Construct. It is. Okay. Walking Ballista. Gonna come in. That's actually still fine. So here, we're just gonna rinse and repeat the Rhinoceri, except I'm actually gonna tap for the right colors. Oh, more giant moo cows, please. I mean, rhinoceros are not cows, but everything's a cow, so cool. So game one over Hardened Scales set, and we've got Force of Vigors, I've got Blood Moon and Magus of the Moon. I'll be very excited to see any / all of those things. Cards I don't necessarily care about include Endurance, and I think Force Negations are going to be very medium here, and I'm going to take out exactly one removal spell, and I think Bone Crusher Giant is the worst of the bunch, because I've already got 4 copies of Force again, so I'm not exactly light for it. Alright, so we've got a pretty robust plan here. We get to take out some Endurances against a deck that doesn't really care about the graveyard. We get to take out some Forces against a creature deck. All in all, pretty excited. And this hand is, not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. So I don't have a Cascader, but I do have removal on 1, removal on 2, Ozolith. Okay, so I'll be medium happy to have that catch the business end of a Force of Vigor if I can draw a green card at some point soon. And this is fine too, because like if they don't play something that I care about on this specific turn here, then I still get to just go ahead and like grab a Triome, hide the fact that I'm looking for Blood Moon, and go for that too, which is fine. That's not bad for me. Actually not bad for me at all. So what's this? Springleaf Drum. Okay, so now I really want a green card, right? Zabaz. Okay, so that thing's definitely going to... Yeah, I can't do anything about range and stirrings. You got it. What do we find? They find an Urza Saga. Oh my freaking god. If I can double Stone Rain off of this Blood Moon, can y'all even imagine how pissed off this opponent's gonna be? Instead of a Triumph, I'm gonna grab this. So since we took Force Negation out, I'm not worried about needing double blue. But I will want double green for Force of Vigor at some point if I can, if my line doesn't end up containing Blood Moon itself. So I'm gonna do this, and I guess I should have played this so that I could potentially cast a fire. I'm sorry, cast the ice, but I'm pretty sure this turn is gonna be devoted to a removal spell. So they are going to be able to make a construct here, but that's fine because I've got ice, I've got Bone Crusher Giant, and oh my god, I'm gonna get both. Yo. Okay, another Zabaz, so that's pretty big. Got it. So in response to that, let's grab this and stomp you. Okay, so they can technically sacrifice itself to this. Sure. So that's gonna have a modular target now, which is fine. Okay, so let's destroy everything your mama taught you to stand for. Sick. And now I really just want a green card so that I'm able to cast my Force of Vigor, because getting rid of like the Construct and the Ozolith would be super big game. A Ravager, okay, that's something I don't necessarily want to see. Well, I'll be equally glad to get rid of Ravager and the Construct. Still need a green card to do so though. Here I want to play you. I think I'm just gonna cast Bone Crusher Giant as a blocker and then play this land tapped. Oh, right. Haha. Untapped. All right, so we're digging really for just like any green card is helpful here. What are you? Automaton. That's really good. Okay, so I think I'm going to just chump block this. I don't have a dead to kill that, but Brazen Bower. That's pretty good against the Construct, actually. Okay, okay. Do I have a path to play? I mean, I can definitely just like bounce this. So like that part's easy, and I can't really target that with any. I have 1 blue source, so the triple Fire Ice isn't exactly doing that much great work right now. But let's see what actually ends up happening. So let's see, they can sack, that's fine. Prag Crown, that's green-red. Hangerback, that's gonna get really annoying really fast. Okay, so I am definitely gonna have regrets about not drawing a green card at some point very soon. But I can at least get rid of this 6 here and do my best to not just die. No promises. So are we dead? Okay, so clearly no, since they didn't just kill me, but that doesn't make me comfortable with what's happening here. Oh my freaking god, come on, man. All right. So I guess I'm gonna cast the ice to tap down something now, but doesn't make me happy. So I guess I'm gonna tap down the Ravager, and I don't know why I'm doing this in upkeep. This actually could have waited until combat. Hey, a green card. A little late, but that's okay. Okay, a lot late, but I guess that's still fine-ish. So if they try to just clear me out, then I do finally have the Force of Vigor to protect myself, which is not nothing. I should probably do as well. Let's think about this. What? No. I'm just gonna wait until combat, because if they try to like move it all in on me, then the Force of Vigor actually will end up being helpful. But man, so let's see if they try to clear me out here. Okay, I honestly don't believe I have a way to be able to survive this game, but I'm gonna try it. What's this? Oh, yeah. We are sacking the Hangerback Walker, getting 2 Copters. Okay, counters on Ozolith. Oh, did I just let that resolve? I did just let that resolve. All right. Game over. Oops. I still don't know that I want to change anything about the way we set this up here. So I'm gonna just run this right back. I could put in, I guess, like some number of endurances back in just for a higher green count for the Force Vigor, but honestly, I think I'm still okay here. So we're gonna go ahead and play first, and this hand is, I wouldn't go so far as to say this is better, but I've got a lot of power and toughness being threatened here, so I'm gonna keep this and go with that. And this time, I assume they're gonna play pretty hard around Blood Moon if possible, so I don't mind fetching for Triomes and or Shocks here, because like that's not really my plan anyway. My plan is just, you know, attack. Ringleaf Drum. Is there a 0-drop? There is not. Okay, so let's do this. Grab our friendly Triome. That's actually pretty good for us. So let's just do this and pass. So upside, if I do see Blood Moon, I've got access to double blue via my 2 islands here. If I see Blood Moon and then later on draw a Force of Vigor, I won't have the option to cast it at just hard casting it, but I've got 4 green cards in my hand, so that's probably less of a problem, you know? Ooh. Alright, so here I'm just going to start with a Shardless Agent. Rhinos. Our opponent have some Rhinoceroses. There's a Saga. Okay. Hardened Scales. Getting scary. Metallic Mimic. Naming Construct. Getting real scary up. And so, see how spooky this next turn can get. Wooded Foothills. That is not on the checklist of things I would have asked for, but I don't mind getting a basic forest. So let's just get an attack in here. And the cool part about this is that I'll actually be able to use a Violent Outburst as a pump spell, which is dope. So let's grab a forest. Here's some more 4/4s. Here's 13 damage, go to 7. And my job here is basically just to not die with like 106 power in play. So please don't kill me. It is totally possible that I could actually die with a Walking Ballista and Ravager and Hardened Scales here, especially if they manage to have like an Ozolith in hand too. Like, I'm not out of the clear, but I think this is as good as it's gonna get for like having a giant aggro play of here, deal with all of this. Angerback Walker, okay. So that thing's a 3/3. There's a Snakeskinville, now it's a 5/5. So they can come up with a bunch of blockers, but my friends have Trample, so that's Blink Moth, not Ink Moth. Okay. Can you do 17 to me here? Ah, shit. 9, 11, 13. Sack the Springleaf Drum, 15. Sack Metallic Mimic, 17. Son of a bitch. That sucks. Well, remember that time I said I was not out of the clear? I meant that. So you got me, bro. Good shit to our opponent. Let's move to the next round. All right, round 3, we're on the play, which is nice. Gemstone Caverns is less nice, but this is still fine. I get to suspend a turn 1 rhinoceroses, and I still have all 3 land drops for my thing, so I can get a Steam Vent and just kind of go from there. Or not a Steam Vent, a Breeding Pool. I need a Breeding Pool. So this is a very sad hand if I am in the middle of looking through, fighting a burn deck. Duh. Like, what am I trying to avoid here? So I do have this, but I gotta take 2 more damage to do it. Temple Garden pass. What the fuck keeps Temple Garden and doesn't mull? I guess this is just like money pile with a medium hand. Probably what I'm looking at here. Whatever. Let's Wooded Foothills. So that can get me the red land that I wanted, and then next turn I can Shardless Agent. But that's not that bad. They have a Force Negation, then I guess it's what it is. I already can't do anything about that. And I can. This doesn't do anything to Planeswalkers right now. Forest Temple Garden? Oh shit, it's Heliod. Yo! Alright, haven't seen that in a really long time. Hello, Heliod duck. Gonna still grab a Steam Vents because I want to be able to eventually cast this Brazen Bower. I don't know whether it's gonna be relevant, but just in case. So you go to 22, I untap, I Rhinoceri, suspend a little, and I don't need to take 2 damage here, so I'm just not going to. Here's some Rhinoceri. Oop, do not yield, do not yield. Okay, now yield. So I can force here, but there's really nothing that costs 3 that I want to force. I would force a Collect a Company on next turn though. So what happens here? Are we just casting Heliod? Are we casting a Spike Feeder? Maybe Skyclave Apparition targeting my Shardless Agent. There's a lot of stuff they can do with 3 mana. That's basically their entire deck. So what are we doing? It is a Ranger Captain. You got it. So are we getting the Walking Ballista or something? They're getting a Noble Hierarch. Noted. So this is going to be the last turn for Crashing Footfalls as well, so that's good too. So let's get my attack on with my Rhinoceri, and I don't really want to bounce Ranger Captain now if I don't have to, but I will at the end of their turn, otherwise they can pop this in response to the suspend trigger for Crashing Footfalls, and I won't actually be able to cast it. So that's going to be annoying if that ends up being what happens here, but if they cast Noble Hierarch that they just got this turn, it also means that Bant, whoa, must have Teferi Time Raveler in here. I will definitely force the shit out of a Teferi. Okay, sweet. So there's no Teferi coming in here, which is nice. And they can't recast this, which is nicer. So they're gonna have a choice here. I'm going to Petty Theft this thing, and they have to choose whether they want to sacrifice it and get rid of my Brazen Bower, or whether they want to pop it and not have access Okay, they kept it. I was gonna say if they pop it, then they don't have access to just recasting the Ranger Captain. But now I get to later on cast my Brazen Borrower. So I don't know who's really winning, I guess. So let's do this. Cast our big angry Moo Cows. They're still Moo Cows. Draw a what? A Fury. Ooh, hi, you're a friend. Wait, they're just dead. What am I doing? Yeah, I'm just gonna clear out the blockers and like attack for 10. Yeah, I'm over here all like, oh, if I hold up my force, then what can I do? And not paying attention the entire time because I can just like get them dead. So here's some subtleties, here's some endurances. Honestly, pretty easy peasy. Everything else is all cards I want. I actually do want the negations because we already talked about collecting kind of in their deck. Depending on the hand I draw, I also don't know that I would 100 mind of it all, but that's much less likely to happen. Do I want Force of Vigor? I know they play Utopia Sprawl. I think that is it. The time they cast Walking Ballista, it's already too late to do anything about it, so that's whatever. But Subtlety's actively pretty good against this deck. Just like getting rid of Heliod or a Walking Ballista on their combo turn is going to be... So let's do that. Goodbye Endurance, hello Subtlety, and honestly, that's just gonna be a complete board for us. Not really much to say or do here. Ooh, we got the Gemstone Caverns. Hell yeah, let's go. That's fucking hype. So I am definitely keeping this. Yes, on it. Free game out. I'm gonna exile, I guess it doesn't really matter, I think. Okay, I was gonna say I will 100% petty theft a Utopia Sprawl in case they were, oh hell yeah, in case they were wondering. Temple Garden tapped. Okay, well that's good news for me. Let's untap and we draw a Scalding Tarn that I honestly don't really want, but I will be able to choose between double interaction or just casting a Violent Outburst in their face. If they cast a Ranger Captain here, then I have to respond to it with the Violent Outburst, so that's annoying, but oh well. But like that, matter of fact. So this way they don't get to just like, you know, pop the Ranger Captain and get rid of my Cascade altogether. They are going to get access to whatever card they search for though, so that's going to be a thing. But at least I've got a couple of 4/4s to speak for, so you may now have your Ranger. They got the Walking Ballista. Noted. Okay, that is something I can deal with, especially since like I have a whole nother set of Rhinos here. Boo hiss. What'd they get rid of? They got rid of a Heliod to do that? All right. Never mind my booing and hissing. I'll take that. Tarn. Let's get an attack in here. I don't think I need to cast Fury. Obviously, it's got potential to be pretty damn good, but I think I can get away with drawing a land and casting Fury. So let's see if that actually ends up being the case. They got Conclave Mentor. Okay. I don't mind killing that. I think. No attacks. Here I want. I'm just gonna grab a Triumph. I can. Okay. So I can dead this. Did I not tap that for red? Oh, there. I swear I know how my lands work. Okay. So you gain 2 life. That's whatever. Rinse and repeat here. What are we doing with this? Veil of Summer. All right. Well, that's not uncool. You got it. Untap. Nice. All right, so now I get to just like clear out this blocker, which is pretty sick, and of course establish a Fury on the board, which doesn't necessarily suck. So they got Walking Ballista, which by itself is relatively irrelevant, and they exiled a Heliod to do their whole thing with excuse me, do their whole thing with Walking Ballista later on. So I'm pretty sure they just have like another Heliod here, but yeah, like that, but that's not really gonna be super helpful. Okay, well, the Birds of Paradise actually helps to block the Fury, which is important for them. Shit, I can die here. Okay, so I guess I attack. If they don't block, I have Violent Outburst to be a pump spell, but if they didn't block, get dead, pump spell. Let's go. All right, 2-1, 2-1. On to the next round. All right, round 4. Yo, nice username, opponent. Get off my lawn 1. Nice username, LOL, was get off my lawn without the 1 taken. Yes, I'd like to play first. Oh, no, 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 absolutely not. Get out of my face. All right. This is a lot better. So here I will keep this, get rid of the Gemstone Caverns, and I will need to draw 1 more land, but I don't mind this. You know, a large part of me actually hopes that my opponent really like 60 years old. All right, so here I'm gonna get a breeding pool and use that to suspend this. All right, and our opponent took a mulligan as well, so let's see what it is they're working. We are fighting Sea Chrome Coast. Are we Affinity? Or. Damn. You know, I still would like to see the good stuff. So let's see what we're drawing here. I would actually like to see a land here just so I'm not stuck sweating for next turn, right? Knowing full well that we just put a land at the bottom of our deck, but I would still like to, oh, that's even better. All right. So the fact that I have to take 2 more against Affinity doesn't really make me happy, but I can cast Dead at this without worrying about a, yeah, I think I like that. And I actually am going to do it like this on purpose and let them untap here, knowing that Affinity plays 2 copies of Spell Pierce. If they cast a Spell Pierce on this dead, it just makes it a lot less likely that they'll, oh fuck, it's hammer time. That's a lot less good for me. Unless they walk themselves right into this dead. If they do, then I'm pretty happy with that. So, okay. Do you have it? Yes. So now I'm going to get to invalidate that with the dead here. And since I can pay the 1, they're not even going to get to draw a card for their efforts. So that's actually pretty good for me. Yes, I would like to pay the 1. Phew. All right. So step 1 accomplished. We didn't die. So now let's draw a land. Damn it. All right. Step 2 failed. So I can't cry too much about that because I know that we just put a copy of Gemstone Caverns on the bottom of our deck, but I still think I would keep a 2-lander given that scenario again. Ginger Brute. Okay. So this isn't that bad either, because if they have like another hammer for the Ginger Brute, then I can just Brazen Borrow it, and it's not that bad. So let's see if it happens again. Oh my god, seriously? Nice. All right, we are getting away with a couple, y'all. We are getting away with a couple. Get out my face. Ginger Brute, get off my lawn. Okay, so now let's cast some Rhinos. Okay. That's not good. But if I don't die this turn, then I'm still cool to just resolve my 4/4s next turn, because I do have Rhinos coming off of suspend next. So if this is just like a naked 1/1, do you seriously have a 3rd hammer? Holy fucking shit, opponent. All right, well, you know, I guess I just want like what? Another petty theft, I guess. Holy shit. Oh, my opponent is wilding right now. All right, so what I can do here is, I mean, I'm still gonna complain a little bit because that's just kind of how it works around here, but I can go ahead and grab a basic forest or mountain, violent outburst into more Rhinos, and then assuming they don't have another hammer, I'll be the one who comes out with a 4/4 and they have nothing, hopefully. Oh fuck, duh, it has text. Never mind. I'm bad. I feel bad. Okay. So against triple hammer though, yo, I can't even be mad about that. Like that was just wild. I think I just treat this the same as Hardened skills, right? Like no, because I actually want the force negation in this matchup. And I think I want Brazen Borrower a lot less. It's not bad, but I think I want it less. I think that feels a little bit better against hammer time because like Brazen Borrower can at least bounce the really big things, and the moon effects are because it stops like the off nexus, the saga, all that good. But triple hammer is nuts. They didn't even search or anything. They just like had it. All right, so here's the cards we don't really want. Oh my god. Our opponent finally responded. They actually said yeah to the other version of Get Off My Lawn without the number 1 was already taken. I'm super mad if that's true. I sincerely hope my opponent's fucking with me and that somebody didn't actually take out that username out from under them. I mean, yeah, sure, funny, but you know. A Misty into Otawara? So this of course can get Stomping Ground, which makes my Dead Gone feel a little bit better here. Dealing with Esper Sentinel specifically being the card doesn't really make me feel great, but I can get a Triumph untap and then kill this without. That's actually pretty good. So we have the 3rd land this time, y'all. We have the 3rd land. So all is not lost. This does walk me into my Blood Moons a little bit here, but I'm gonna respond by killing the Esper Sentinel here just in case they kept a 1-lander. Oh, sick. All right, cool. So if they actually did strand their thing, then let's grab, I mean, I gotta grab a shock land here. I don't have a way to get a basic and cast my Rhinoceri. So I'm gonna grab double red in case casting Fury later becomes relevant. And I'm gonna do this to play around Spell Pierce. We have an Ornithopter, we have a Springleaf Drum number 2. We turn these into a hammer, which means I'm looking for a, whatever the 2/2 is called. Pure Steel Paladin. Names are hard, okay. So let's get our attack on here. And I'm actually pretty happy that my Scalding Tarn can get me a basic island. So that's pretty cool, actually. I don't think I want to cast Fire on this. I think I want to wait and see if they have a Pure Steel Paladin and then go from sick. All right, game 3. We take those. Do I want to change anything else about this setup? I believe the answer is no. I'm not going to keep exactly as a submit. Our hand is Suspended Rhino, a couple of fetches, a Blood Moon is nice, and a couple of fires, which are not the best removal spots, but they are still removal spots. So let's see what happens here. I would love to draw like a Force of Vigor for the turn too. That'd be pretty nice. And yeah, sure, that takes me off of suspending this, but like Esper Sentinel, we start with 1 every game. Noted. I ideally I wanted to not die, right? But seeing as that might not be an option, I'm going to play to not dying, and if that's not what ends up happening, then I can't really do it. So Springleaf Drum, Pure Steel Paladin. Okay, so I can at least ice the Pure Steel Paladin. That's not a stone worst. I am not happy still. I'm still very unhappy about this, but it is not just the stone worst. And the fact that they have a basic Plains and Springleaf Drum means that they are currently beating my my Blood Moon. Also sucks. Only being able to turn off one land with that is not great. Andre, they play Blood Moon. I'm not walking into that. You do get to draw a card, which sucks. So I will be a little unhappy about the fact that they get to draw cards off of that. But hopefully this just means that I was able to like strand a hammer in their hand. That would be nice if that were the case. But let's see what happens here. So here I just take my one, I assume, cry about it, move along. If I cast a Blood Moon here, they can just like tap Reality Chip in Springleaf Drum and make a Spell Pierce. I've got another turn or two until I'm allowed to, oh, you know what? Might not be that bad. If their plan is to tap this and then equip this here, then I can still fire this in response and avoid letting them draw a card. That might not be that bad. So let's see if that's what ends up happening. A Windswept Teeth, okay. I also hope that gets a shock land in case I get to actually do something with my Blood Moon. I think that's a bit of a brave attack, seeing as I could actually have Violent Outburst and Force in hand, but I don't, so you get away with one. That I've just got like a giant pile of lands currently. But let's see if that's good enough. This is probably just gonna get another basic. Yeah, okay. So Blood Moon honestly is not really a plan. I will still cast it later if it turns out that my opponent's going to, if it turns out my opponent's just going to play like a Urza Saga later, then I'll still Blood Moon pretty happily there. But at this point, I'm okay with treating it as just like a, I don't know, I guess 1-in-1. Treating it as like a Stone Rain more than like as an actual Blood Moon, right? So let's see if this is like a Spell Pierce or something. Blacksmith skill? Blacksmith skill. That's fine. So we got that out of their hand, which is still good. Untap. One more turn until Rhinoceri. A Shardless Agent. That's actually helpful. Yeah, let's cast you. So they can, of course, Spell Pierce the Rhinos, but I am going to be hopefully resolving another one next turn too, so, like, that's nice. Yes, I would like to pay the one and not let you draw cards. No! Okay, that's fine. We knew that was a possibility. Well, I don't know about fine, but I acknowledge that it happened. That's more accurate. So now they have a little bit of leeway to basically do what they want. So let's see what that is. They are, in fact, reconfiguring, so they can start playing shit off the top of their deck. Have a hammer to play. Okay. So now I can resolve this Rhinos, which is super nice. I want to cast this, and I'm going to pay the one. Yes, give me Rhinos. That's not bad either. So options exist. I can, no, I'm not about to. I was going to say, I'm gonna grab this. This way, without casting the Blood Moon, I have access to Brazen Borrower for the 2 blues and Force of Vigor for the 2 greens. So I'm just gonna attack for my 2 here. And my plan is likely going to be to just Otawara and bounce, I don't know, Sentinel or whatever else they plan on doing. Sigarda's Aid. Okay, that was an Inkmoth Nexus. Noted. Inkmoth Nexus is a reason to Blood Moon, so I'll still be pretty happy about that. So let's see what happens here. Just say not Pure Steel Paladin. That'd be Giver of Runes is really freaking annoying. Okay, see if we're looking. Okay, so they're looking to untap with Giver of Runes in that. Okay, so that means that I probably won't be able to completely shut off any of the Sigarda's Aid lines if I let them. So I think what I should do, I mean, I'm also playing around blacksmith skills. Let's think about that. I could let them cast a hammer with Otawara and then simply Otawara the hammer itself, but that doesn't work as well because they can just like recast a hammer since Sigarda's Aid is on the table. So I think I actually do have to bounce the Giver of Runes and set them off of another turn of protection, giving myself another chance to draw something relevant. And a 6th. Okay. Force of Negation. That's really helpful. That's actively very good. So let's do this. Shutting off Inkmoth Nexus, holding up Force of Negation. And I'm unhappy about that, but yes, you're going to get to draw your card. This Blacksmith skill. Oh, sure. So they're just going to play around a removal spell of some sort. And I'm not paying 3 anyway, so you can have your card. Okay, sick. So now I get to attack for 8. I'm going to hold this back in case they have 2 hammers, but they're going to go to 5. I get to counter at least 1 hammer on the way down. They don't have access to both. I mean, they do have access to 1 point of blue mana, because they can still play Giver and then use Springleaf Drum. So, like, that's totally an option they have. But I've got a lot of power and toughness in Tramp now, so, whoa. Meddling Maid. Naming what? Force of Vigor or Force of Negation? But it's essentially too late for that now. So, I mean, I guess they could just name Crashing Foe. Yeah. I'm like, what do you even name here? Oh, they played Urza Saga. Oh, that sucks. All right. So they probably just did that to clear another card off the top of their deck, though, if I'm being completely honest. But that's sick. So we go to 3-1, and let's go to the next round. All right, round 5 is here. We are on the draw, but we have a gemstone caverns. Hell yeah, let's go. So here I'm gonna do this and skip out on. You know what? Before I make that decision, I'm gonna start up the the browser I have open and see if I can get any info as to what my opponent might be. Okay, so unfortunately, I don't have any results here, so I don't get to know whether I should be better off with a Dead Gun or Force Negation, so I think I'll just get rid of this Scalding Tarn and keep it moving. So this way, if they do play some kind of creature deck or something, then... Okay, Garen Break. So I know they're playing Amulet. Makes me a little bit sadder here that I wasn't to have that information, because I'd have been pretty happy to put the Dead Gun back in the deck, but since we kept it, I guess I will be satisfied with being able to cast the Gone half of Dead Gone. So if this is a... Okay, yeah, that's fine. Grazer actually isn't that important. I mean, that part of it's pretty good. You can just bounce the Valakut and move along. So let's see what I can do this turn. Okay, Misty Rainforest, never once didn't have it. Y'all know the vibes. And let's see. Here, I will be happy to just force a negation an Amulet if they have one. I will also force a copy of Summoner's Pact. But if they don't play anything that important this turn, then I'm also medium satisfied with Rhinos. But like, I won't lie and say I'm not scared of a Primeval Titan, because I am. Man, you are not gonna have much checks in this game. Oh, sick. Well, that plays pretty nicely. So we can Violent Outburst here, come up with some Rhino friends, and I'll be honest, I don't think that's good enough here, but it is not nothing. That actually is kind of nothing here. Bone Crusher Giant's fucking terrible. All right, go to 12. And man, how do we get out of this? All right, so they have the 6 mana for the Primeval Titan, so that's just gonna happen. Honestly, there's not really anything I can do about that. Cool part, at least they're not able to just kill us this turn because the lands don't come in untapped. So I can cast Gone, put this back into hand, untap, resume my attacks, and then just kind of like hope for the best from there. They do have approximately a fuck ton of mana though. They return Valakut and probably Boseiju. Yeah. So do I want to just cast Endurance first, untap, bounce this? Oh, you know what? These have Trample, right? Yeah. So I can let them block a Rhino and then bounce this thing and they still take 4. Is that too cute? That might be too cute. Let me think about this. Putting the Endurance on the table definitely puts another threat on, and it makes their life total more susceptible to Bone Crusher Giant Stomp being relevant. Is that even true? I don't even know if that's true. So I'm gonna cast the Endurance, and if they block the Endurance, then I don't know, whatever. Target anybody, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna attack like this and give myself the chance to have them block one of these and then take 2 more damage. Okay, so they're gonna take 1, go to 11. I'm gonna get to cast Dead here, which is really nice. Okay, so I really highly doubt that this is gonna be a thing that continues to be relevant here, but I have another blue card for Force and Negation. Bone Crusher Giant Stomp might end up being relevant here. They currently don't have blockers, but they do have 5 real cards. They have a set 7 total, but I know what 2 of them are because they bounced them back. But all in all, still not ultra happy about this. 7 mana. Okay, so is this a Cultivator Colossus? Not terribly happy about that if that's the case. It is a Cultivator Colossus. Yikes. Okay, well, there's nothing I'm doing about this. So they're gonna get to have like 45 power and toughness. Oh my god. This card is so ridiculous in this deck. Oh my god, 3 Years of Saga. What's happening right now? Okay. You got it, opponent. Oh, there's so much power and toughness here. Expedition map. Okay. So, all right, well, let's cast these Rhinos, I guess. And hell yeah, Gemstone Caverns. I am very excited for you to do absolute... Oh, crap. I already had one. It's even worse than I thought. Oh my god, it was even worse than I thought. What's my mission here? Don't die? Do I have the option to not die? I don't think I have the option to not die. Like, they untap, they get to make a bunch of constructs too. I can attack here, they go to 8, they block this, I can do nothing about this. Casting more Rhinos isn't particularly helpful here. Is that true? I'm gonna cast a Bone Crusher Giant and give myself a chance to draw into a copy of Dead Gone next. I think that's our line. So if I force, I don't know, a Summoner's Pact, I guess, then yeah, forcing a Summoner's Pact actually is kind of helpful. So let's try that. Oh, all right. Well, I'm gonna try it. See if it's good enough. I'm sure it's not, but I'm gonna try it. Oh, they just had 2. All right. Fine. Backing it up. Let's go to game. So game 2, I've got Blood Moons, I've got Maguses, I've got Forces, and this is going to be a lot of the same stuff as the 2 artifact matchups, but without the sad faces that we get from the lower point removal spells here. So I can take out Endurances, I can take out Bone Crusher Giant. I don't really want Dead Gons here. I also don't really want Fire Ices. Like, Fire Ice is probably a little better than Dead Gon, but Dead Gon can bounce, so I guess that's what I'm gonna do. I've got Fury, and Fury is actually pretty good here because I can pitch Fury and get rid of Dryad because it's actually 4 toughness, so I don't want to take Fury out of here because it is 0 mana interaction for Dryad, but the rest of this, little medium. Hopefully these Blood Moons actually have a lot of text. Well, I know they have a lot of text. Hopefully I see them. That's more accurate. Here we go. That's going to be our sideboard plan. Let's take out all of these things that do 2 damage to creatures. Put in a lot of the things that solve the problems we have. So I definitely want all of the 0 mana interaction. Did that work? So yes, I would like to play first. And this hand has got to go. This is somehow better. It's not good, but it is a little better. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to ship one of these. And unfortunately, I'm going to play one of these. But it's not that unfortunate because, like, maybe I just draw a Force of Vigor and, you know, untrick myself out of suspending this one. Oh my god, please draw a Force of Vigor. I think I still want to bounce the Expedition map. I'm going to bounce the Expedition map. So now I really just want to draw a land for any of these interaction points. That'd be super lovely. Yeah, so a land to cast like either of these really great. I would also be okay with drawing, what's this, an Arboreal Grazer? Giant, not okay. So they're just future proofing? Yeah, they're just future proofing. Okay. Ugh, Dak, stop it. So we're gonna do this yet again. And I understand that I could have held that for the amulet from here. So they float, but I still am mostly okay with the way this is going. Mostly. So what's this? Okay. So is this just gonna be a Dryad from here? Yeah, I feel like this is probably just gonna be like a Dryad turn, which actively works out great if I happen to draw a Force of Vigor. Most other things are still a little bit sad-faced, but you know, that is the life you live when you draw 2 lands. Okay, there's an Expedition map. Do we also have a Dryad with its other 3? No, we're searching. Or what? Another Saga maybe? And just playing that for turn? That'll make me even happier to draw a Vigor because I can get rid of Saga and Amulet. They grabbed a Simic Dwarf Chain. Come on! Deck, you are absolutely killing me. I guess I'll suspend this. I just want to cast my spells. Okay. So there's a Saga, and they have 3 mana, which means that this could still just be like Dryad, bounce land, bounce Saga. Feels so rough. I just want to like cast my shit. Hooray, I can cast my shit. Woo! Alright, so I'm gonna grab a Forest, and I'm gonna use that to cast this. And of course I'm grabbing Forest so that if I draw a hard cast Force of Vigor, then I'll actually be able to cast it at some point in the future. So I'm still pretty scared about the way this can go, but I'm keeping the Violent Outburst in hand so that I can pitch it to Fury in case of a Dryad turn. I don't mind attacking into a Construct token if that's all they got going on for now, and I still have 2 green cards, so if I draw a Force of Vigor, then I'll still be okay to pitch the Shardless Agent to that. Although I am really sad about missing, 2 land drops here because I could have been attacked. I am probably going to lose because of how much time we gave them. So if this is just a construct turn, then I'm pretty okay with that actually. How many turns do I have left on this anyway? 2? Yeah, 2. Come on. Killing me. That's only a 2/2, so I'm fine with trading Shardless Agent for if that's what they want to do. Do I want to just cast this other one and make more Rhino? I think the answer is yes. Is that just a construct? It is. That's fine. You may have a construct, seeing as I can do nothing about it anyway. All right. Here's approximately 1 shit ton of power and toughness, and if I draw another red card, I don't mind using Fury to clear out a creature, and Violent Outburst can be a pump spell. So either of those modes has the ability to be super relevant. I'm just gonna press 6. I don't have, and sure, they don't know that, but whatever. So here, oh god, I'm not confident about my ability to live another freak loss. Gosh, this. All right, well, good luck to us. oh god, send help, send help, send help, send help. Ah, send help. That's so many lands. Oh, did they stop? I mean, they still, oh god. Oh, I'm at 19. I, in theory, could block Cultivator Colossus now, but that is just a thing. Yeah, a lot happening. So like all of these lands lay untapped. They can even cast the Primeval Titan. If they were worried about my Boseiju, I suppose they could have cast, but I'm sure that's not exactly high on their control. Galeria West can go get a Summoner's Pact to go get a Dryad 2. So yeah, tapping for just a bunch of red mana? Okay, so there's a Dryad. But to be fair, we already knew about that. So on a scale of 1 to this video ends at 3-2, how dead are we? And I'm pretty sure everybody here knows you're gonna be a 3-2 league, y'all. Oh my god. Whew. Damn, look at them go. How much mana is that? 8, 16, 20, 27? That's a lot of mana I'm currently doing about this. Okay, there's the Dryad. They've got only 9 cards in hand. Valakut's for my face. Asintum. Is there any reason to continue this? I think the answer is no. But whatever. I just kind of want to see how bad this could get. All right. Never mind. They have the Summoner's Pact. I'm over it. Azusa, yo, they put their whole foot up my ass. All right, let's concede. All right, so Match is over. And we went 3-2, but honestly, I don't even think this one's a sad face 3-2. So we lost to Amulet, primarily because hitting a third land drop in this 24 land deck just proved to be a little bit too impossible, which makes sense as to why they're playing 24. You really only need 3 lands most of the time, but when your deck has almost no card draw, it's pretty important to just put a giant pile of lands in your deck so that you can more reliably get to the third one. And that's fine, it's what it is. We also had a couple of mulligans, and I put lands back on the bottom of the deck, and I did get punished for that twice, I believe. So maybe that's like a thing in my decision making too, where we talk out the reasons why we're putting lands back as we keep our hands and then get punished by not drawing the third one. But given the chance to do each of those 2 games again, I think I still make the same choices. Because of the fact that, like, you know, we talked out our reasons, we worked with the information we had access to, and I still think that we did the best we could given the information we had. Sometimes you just do the thing and lose, and that's okay. Like, you know, you're not necessarily going to win every game you play. Just because you happen to make a logical and potentially correct choice, you can still just get punished. And I think that's okay. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The games that we won felt pretty sweet. Like, we got to attack for a bunch, we got to play around a lot of cards, we have a lot of interaction with this deck, and honestly, that felt pretty good. Our sideboard also felt pretty good. We didn't really have an option to use Mystical Dispute at any point in this league, but I think that's fine. Force of Vigor, actively very, very, very good. I think that card is straight up bonkers right now. The moon effects, pretty good in a couple of matches. We played against Urza Saga a few times, we played against Amulet Titan, and Blood Moon is, whoo boy, lights out there. The 4th copy of Endurance would be potentially good for things like Murktide Region, things like Living End, so I do like the 4 copies of the Endurance, and the amount of free interaction this deck has is pretty nuts. Like, you get Subtlety, Force, Endurance, Force Negation, Fury. Did I say Fury already? I don't remember. Whatever. Fury is really good. I'll say it a third time. You get Fury, and yeah, if you were to play this deck at a bigger tournament, I would definitely not blame you. Like, the deck's good, it's got interaction, it's got one big powerful thing that it does, and you can just play a fair game of Magic, and it's not that terrible. I would not choose to play this over Spirits, but would I really ever choose to play a deck over Spirits at a big event? And so I don't know that that really needed saying, but that's kind of my take. But overall, satisfying experience. I would recommend this deck. Let me know if you're playing Rhinos, what would you do differently from this list? Are you playing more Bone Crusher Giants? Are you playing all 4 copies of Dead Gone? Are you doing different splits on your moon effects in your sideboard? Are you just, I don't know, for some reason not playing moon effects in your sideboard? Either way, let me know. I am always interested in inputs, especially on decks I don't really play. But that's going to be it for today. If you like what you're watching, make sure to click like on the video. Let me know. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and I'll see y'all in the next one.